Hi there, these comments are for AA, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you just completed a writing assignment at my website, so let's take a look at the topic here, and let's see how you responded to this question. So here it is. It has recently been announced that a new movie theater may be built in your neighborhood. Do you support or oppose this plan? Why? Use specific reasons and details to support your answers. So you say, making movies is significant for a country that wants to spread. When you say country singular, then you need to use a singular possessive adjective here, to spread its culture in all parts. Change on to of. Going to watch. How about going to watch movies in the theater is essential for most families. You need to make this plural. After shopping and dinner. There, because you're referring to families, I'm going to use the pronoun they, right? So there, they or the families I'm going to just say will relax and enjoy their time you can just say here with friends or family. Recently, some of the cinema sponsors need a helping verb here, are thinking about, you have to change this to a gerund because it's coming after a preposition. They're thinking about building new theater, a new theater, it's not just in neighborhoods in general, but it's in your neighborhood. So in this way, respecting the neighbor is most important of obtaining money from businesses like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. You're not exactly making the connections, I think. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know what you're trying to say here, so I'm going to get rid of this. The meaning is not clear. You might do something like this. Even though some claim that the construction will bring, even though some claim that the construction of a new movie theater will bring much needed area I would say I disagree with the building. You might say of a new movie theater and here you have your key points, right? Because it will disturb inhabitants, I would just say residents of the community, right? So if it will disturb residents, I'm going to use the word here, new business, which refers to the movie theater, because the new business would disturb residents and create, you might say, safety risks for kids. All right, let's take a look at your topic sentence in your second paragraph. So you say, first reason, most of people like to watch movies, they prefer at night as time to watch it. But that's not a topic sentence. You have to go back to what you said here. So your first idea is the construction of a theater will disturb residents. So you say, first of all, or first reason, how about just first? You can say here the movie theater is built So you have, after the movie theater is built, the patrons rushing to see the latest movies will disturb residents in my neighborhood. You have. Okay, so what we did here is I created what's called a more general statement that helps frame the paragraph. Your paragraph, you started off with a more specific detail type sentence, which is not what you want to do when you're organizing your paragraphs. So now we have a topic sentence. So you say, first, after the movie theater is built, the patrons rushing to see the latest movies will disturb residents in my neighborhood. And then you say this sentence, just say most people who like to watch movies. Once you say most people, you don't need two subjects here. So you just say this. Most people who like to watch movies prefer, I'm going to say here, you want to say not it, them, to watch them at night. So you're having some word order problems with that. So let's say that again. So most people like to watch movies, prefer to watch them at night. When people rush at night to theaters inside neighborhoods, they will cause much annoyance and trouble. And trouble typically is a uncount noun, which means we don't typically make it plural. So I don't normally say I have many troubles. I would just say I can say I have many problems, or I could say I have much trouble or a lot of trouble. So once you talk about disturbing the residents and then you get into bringing up the traffic, I don't think you want to do that. That's a whole different idea. Remember, what you do in the beginning, the topic you put in the beginning of the paragraph, you want to limit your discussion to that particular idea. So let's get rid of, I think, this information we probably don't want. We still need to develop this more, though. So far we have 60 words, right? Need to get each paragraph close to 100. That's a fairly developed paragraph. So if you look at this paragraph, you have to, okay, what more can we do here? You can you might say this: most people who like to watch movies prefer to watch them at night. You might say 7:30 p.m. until midnight. Now we're developing the idea a little bit more. So then when you say here, when people rush at night to theaters inside neighborhoods, they will cause much annoyance and trouble. So what you do here is you need to, instead of saying annoyance or trouble, when you get into the middle of the paragraph, this is where you need to get more specific. So when people rush at night to theaters inside neighborhoods, they will play loud music in their cars. And if they're drinking alcohol, you can say, so what we're doing is we're developing this idea a little bit more. You might say, moreover, you might say, when walking back to their neighborhoods, you can say all this activity will become annoying to the residents in my neighborhood. Okay, so I think we have it. So what we've done here is we just focused on your one idea that you said in the beginning. We did not mention the traffic. This is a whole nother topic. So I'm not even going to bring this up. So you're putting, sometimes in your paragraphs, you have a tendency to put too many different ideas in the paragraph. But you have to look at the very top here. What are you trying to do in the beginning? And then show that you can develop this particular idea. So let's see what we have here. So our paragraph, it's 141 words. So it's very developed all around this one idea. If you can do that, that shows you have more depth, I think, to your ideas. If you can take one idea and then develop that in the paragraph, that's going to be good. All right, let's take a look at your next paragraph. And again, you need to take what you're saying here and connect it back to the question. So there's certain kinds of words that you can repeat here. The new movie theater is built or being built. So you need to repeat this a little bit. So I would say here, second, significant safety risks. I think you said that before. I put that in here, right? So let's say dangers. Now, what we've done here is by putting the word building a new movie theater here, by mentioning this idea here, it also ties back to the previous paragraph where we say the movie theater is built, and of course both of these paragraphs tie back to these key ideas in the question. So now we have a little bit better organization. So second, building a new movie theater poses significant safety dangers for kids. And I would, instead of repeating kids twice, just say who have the rights, who have the right to live and play around their neighborhoods with peers under parents' eyes. Make this plural possessive. But when the theaters and the parking lots constructed come to be instead of parks and fields that will kill their innocent. You're not really saying what you're trying to say here. So you say, but when the theaters and parking lots are constructed, the additional traffic could cause some accidents in which drivers hit innocent kids. So we have that. I'm going to say not thus here. I'm going to say in addition. It looks like you're not creating a cause-effect relationship here, but you're adding to the idea. So in addition, when some people go to watch movies and have some beer, how about beers or alcohol, and just say and drink alcohol, especially young people. They will go back home under the effect of alcohol, and they might I'm going to change this a little bit, and innocent kids might be hit by these intoxicated drivers. Okay, so I think we made some changes here. Okay, so let's take a look at this paragraph one more time. So, second, building a new movie theater poses significant safety dangers for kids who have the right to live and play around their neighborhoods with peers under parents' eyes. But when the theaters and parking lots are constructed, the additional traffic could cause some accidents in which drivers hit innocent kids. In addition, when some people go to watch movies and drink alcohol, especially young people, they will go back home under the effect of alcohol, and innocent kids might be hit by these intoxicated drivers. Now we can say therefore. You think we're okay here? So to sum up, the trouble behind building the theater inside neighborhoods probably don't even need to say that. Just restate your key points. So, to sum up, building the theater inside my neighborhood will annoy residents and threaten people's lives This is what I don't get. You say, are enough to know that so is much important of doing business inside wonderful communities like neighborhoods. You might say, is this what you're... I'm just guessing as to what you might mean here. You can say, which means that people are much more important than doing business inside a wonderful community like a neighborhood. As a result, is unacceptable. Let's do spell check now just quickly, and I'll do one more reading of the paper, and I think we have it. Okay, so making movies is significant for a country that wants to spread its culture in all parts of the world. Going to watch movies in the theater is essential for most families after shopping and dinner. There they will relax and enjoy their time with friends or family. Recently, some of the cinema sponsors are thinking about building a new theater in my neighborhood. Even though some claim that the construction of a movie theater will bring much needed entertainment to my area, I disagree with the building of a new movie theater because the new business will disturb residents and create safety risks for kids. First, after the new movie theater is built, the patrons rushing to see the latest movies will disturb residents in my neighborhood. Since most people work or attend school during the day, most people who like to watch movies prefer to watch them at night. Typically, these customers will frequent the theater from 7 p.m. until midnight. When people rush at night to theaters inside neighborhoods, they play loud music in their cars, they will talk to each other, and if they're drinking alcohol, they might become very loud as they talk with their friends. Moreover, after a new movie is over, when walking back to their cars or when walking back to their neighborhoods, they will talk about the movie, again disrupting residents who are trying to sleep. All of this activity will become annoying to the residents in my neighborhood. Second, building a new movie theater poses significant safety dangers for kids who have the right to live and play around their neighborhoods with peers under parents' eyes. But when the theaters and parking lots are constructed, the additional traffic could cause some accidents in which drivers hit innocent kids. In addition, when some people go to watch movies and drink alcohol, especially young people, they will go back home under the effect of alcohol, and innocent kids might be hit by these intoxicated drivers. Therefore, the new theater will create unnecessary safety hazards for children. To sum up, building the theater inside my neighborhood will annoy residents and threaten people's lives or kids, which means that people are much more important than doing business inside a wonderful community like a neighborhood. As a result, a movie theater in my neighborhood is unacceptable. And there it is. So the way that I've written it now, you can pretty much guarantee that this essay will probably score pretty close to perfect on the TOEFL IBT exam. Let's see how many words we have. So we have 389 words, almost 400. So it's well developed over 2 paragraphs. There's a clear organization, but I had to make a lot of changes, as you can see. I made a lot of changes to your essay. So what will you score on this particular one? I don't think you'll score in the 3 range on this. So you have, I think I had to rewrite some of the topic sentences of your body paragraphs, even in that second paragraph, remember. In that one particular paragraph, where was it? Here. I actually had to get rid of a lot of what you talked about with traffic, and I stayed focused on the disturbing idea to give this paragraph more depth. This paragraph was pretty organized in the sense that you had everything unified around a common thing. Okay, let's go back. So you had a lot of problems with inappropriate word choice or word forms, a large number of errors in sentence structure and or usage. So your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.0 out of 5, 14 points out of 30 on this one. And that's going to put you, for the purposes of our class, I think it's like page 7. So 2.0 is going to put you around 64% on this assignment. So what do? You got to get more organized, I think. So remember that you want to have a good thesis, which you had, but make sure you have good topic sentences in your body paragraphs. Make sure your paragraphs don't jump around to too many different topics. Whatever you say in the beginning of the paragraph, that's what you want to focus on more. All right, so in terms of my course, I would recommend that you complete maybe 3 or 4 additional writing practice tests between now and the final exam, and that'll get you more used to the process of organizing and developing your responses under time constraint. And you'll get better. You will do better. Practice makes perfect. All right, so I'd like to have you take a look at my writing lesson number 8. That's a good lesson to help you organize your ideas a little bit more. So check out that one. And thank you for completing this particular assignment.